What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to SoCal Exploring. My name is Scott, and you're watching your stop for all things theme park and attraction related. If you're new here, consider subscribing down below with those bell notifications on, and if you enjoy the video at the very end, consider leaving a like down below. It really helps out the video. And if you aren't already, follow us on our social media at SoCal Exploring Media on Instagram and at SoCal Exploring on Twitter. It is official. We have an opening date for Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure, and that opening date was announced this morning on April 30th, 2021. Both Disneyland and California Adventure will open back up to the public with all the fan favorite rides and attractions. On the Disney Parks blog website, you can actually read a full blog on what to expect, the different COVID measures, some attractions that are going to be open, and a couple of small details that the general public would miss. So I've read over that blog very carefully, and a lot more information has come out since the announcement this morning that I want to share with all of you guys. I've also created this 6-week layout from here until April 30th on what I think Disneyland's process is going to be for announcing tickets, like CM previews, all of that fun stuff. So let's go over that right now. And keep in mind, this is just speculated. This isn't official. This is just what I think. So let's start off with the next week, which next week I believe that we're going to get the announcement of operating hours for the two theme parks and what rides are going to be closed and what rides are going to be open. Because like I said, they did give us a small list, but not the full entire list of the operating attractions. The second week, I think that memberships and ticket prices will be announced to get everybody all riled up and everything, and they'll announce a date on when exactly those ticket sales will be available, as well as like hotels and stuff like that. We then get to the third week, which I think will be the week that admission and hotels and memberships, if memberships are going to be a thing, will be on sale. That will be the day that everybody's stressing, that everybody's waiting on their phones and has like tons of different devices open like they did with Touch of Disney, trying to get admission into opening day April 30th of Disneyland. On the fifth week, which is the week right before April 30th, I believe that CM previews will happen. They already announced that cast members will be the first to have a chance to visit the Disneyland Resort once again with the rides and attractions open, so I believe that those will happen the fifth week, the week right before opening day. And with the 6th week coming around, opening day on April 30th, I think that will complete the 6-week layout that I'm speculating from here until April 30th. I did a lot of thinking when it came to making that layout, so I'm hoping that most of it's true, although Disney could just, let all the information out at once and make everybody all stressed out and make it a lot harder than it is. But I'm hoping they take the route of announcing stuff slowly but surely. Since they got the approval to reopen on April 1st, they have been taking stuff slowly but surely, which I really appreciate, and I think that they'll take the same route with announcing tickets and CM preview reservations and all that other stuff. So one of the biggest questions when they announced that theme parks would be allowed to reopen in California was what would happen to the indoor attractions at these theme parks. Well, it seems like from the Disney Parks blog, they're saying that attractions like Rise of the Resistance, Snow White's Enchanted Wish, Peter Pan's Flight, those rides are going to be open, which are considered indoor attractions. So I don't think that we have to worry about any big time indoor attractions staying closed like Space Mountain or maybe Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if Roger Rabbit's going to be open, but at least we get confirmation that Rise of the Resistance is going to be open, because that's one that I was like, are they still going to do the boarding group system, or are they just going to have a standby line? Because they have plenty of room to do social distancing throughout that queue. If you've walked through that queue before, it is extremely long. It's prepared for social distancing. But I hope that they still do boarding groups. I think that it'll be a lot easier to get a boarding group with only 6,000 people in Disneyland and 6,000 people in California Adventure, making that 12,000 in total. So hopefully they'll still do boarding groups and it'll make it more of an enjoyable experience for everybody. But then again, we got to factor in, like, they're only going to be loading one group per vehicle, so if like you're riding alone, you're literally going to get that pod to yourself. At least that's how it was when we went to Walt Disney World. I don't know if they're going to implement the same thing where they're doing plexiglass in Disney World now and they implement it over at the Disneyland rides and attractions. I think that'd be kind of weird to start off with. I think for safety and everything, they'll start off with just one group per ride vehicle. Two attractions in specific that we know are opening with the park that are considered like new or at least newly refurbished: Snow White's Enchanted Wish, and the way that Disneyland describes it is some new magic added to the Haunted Mansion. It was a big question on whether or not Enchanted Wish was going to be open up with a theme park, but now we have confirmation from Disney themselves, so I'm super excited. I'm going to have to avoid spoilers of the full ride POVs when people are like filming it at cast member previews and stuff. Even though Disneyland's already released a lot of footage and images, I still want to experience it for myself and not watch it through a YouTube video, so I'll have to wait out until April 30th, hopefully, if we get tickets, to experience the full ride. The reimagining of Haunted Mansion, as a lot of you guys know, there was tons of refurbishment going on the attraction. I mean, they even covered up and like tons of scrim to redo the whole front area, and I'm assuming just like repaint it and make it look a little bit more prettier. But the way that Disneyland is kind of describing it is that there's like new features on the inside. Now that's not to say there's going to be big new scenes or any new characters or anything like that, but I do think there will be significant enough changes that most of us diehard Disneyland fans will notice as soon as we board Haunted Mansion. So I'm excited to finally ride Haunted Mansion because it's been a while since I've ridden the classic Haunted Mansion. The last time I rode it was back in January, I think, and it was still Haunted Mansion Holiday. So it's been a while. So I guess that wouldn't be considered the last time I rode the classic Haunted Mansion. That would be considered Holiday. So it would be August of 2019 was the last time that I rode Haunted Mansion, the regular classic. So it's been a while, almost 2 years. It's like a year and a half, so I'll be excited to ride Haunted Mansion once again. Upon the reopening of the 2 theme parks, Disney's Grand Californian will also be opening up on April 29th, the day before the 2 theme parks open up, to get guests all excited and ready for their exciting day at the theme parks after a whole, like, longer than a year that they've been closed. However, it will only be the Grand Californian. The Disneyland Hotel and the Paradise Pier Hotel will be reopening at a later date. Speaking of something at a later date, Avengers Campus, we already know that it's not going to be opening up with the theme park. We reported on that before, and it's been all over Twitter and social media, and they did still confirm in this blog that it's going to be scheduled to open at a later date this year, but they're still going with this year, so it's not delayed until 2022. I mean, it looks completely done. I'm just sure that they want to get all ready for Avengers Campus to open sometime in the near future, but not right on the opening week when everything's kind of a mess. They did note at the bottom that some restaurants will not be open as well, so I'm curious to see what restaurants won't be open. Maybe some of the indoor restaurants or maybe indoor dining will be prohibited, but outdoor dining will still be a thing. Like, you can still walk into Red Rose Tavern and get your food, but you just have to eat it on the outside. I'm not too sure how they're going to work with that. But I guess that, you know, begs a question for restaurants like Blue Bayou, the Golden Horseshoe, Pizza Planet, even though I guess you could still say they have plenty of outdoor dining for Pizza Planet, but just other restaurants like that. Like, will they have them open? Will they have them completely closed? Or will they have it to where you can go in and get food, like I said, but you just have to eat it on the outside? Now, the trams will not be running, so you're going to have to walk from the parking garage on the tram route all the way to the 2 theme parks. I know it sounds like a lot, but if you calculate like the amount that you walk from the Simba parking lot all the way down to Buena Vista Street if you went out to downtown Disney during the pandemic, then it's about the same. It just feels like a lot longer. It's definitely going to feel a lot longer and more tiring when, you know, you're super tired at night. It's like 9 o'clock at night and you're leaving Disneyland and you just want to get to your car and get home and jump in bed after a long magical day. That's definitely going to take a lot out of me and a lot out of, I'm sure, a lot of Disneyland guests. But for right now, we just have to deal with it. At least hopefully they'll still have the monorail running, although I feel like that one's still going to be questionable because it's going to be kind of hard for them to social distance on that. But like I said, more news and details is going to be coming very, very soon on ride closures and other stuff that's unavailable. They did confirm that there's going to be socially distanced, you know, character meet and greets. Now, I wouldn't say meet and greets, they're going to be the characters, I'm assuming, up on the train station like they do at Magic Kingdom, waving down at guests, and you could take a picture in a way if you like angle your phone at a certain way, but it's not going to be like, you know, personal meet and greets. Parades, nighttime spectaculars, and other attractions that form large crowd gatherings are going to be halted at this time, and they will return to the Disneyland Resort at a later date. For those of you who are still going to the Touch of Disney event, that will still run as originally planned until April 18th, I believe it is, so you don't need to worry about like tickets or anything like that. If you already have your tickets, your tickets are for Touch of Disney are still good. That's still going to run at California Adventure. You're going to need a theme park reservation on top of the admission, just like you would at any theme park or any, you know, Walt Disney World theme park over in Florida. And I wonder if there's going to be any prioritizing over former Legacy annual pass holders, like if they're going to have a set group of reservations that they can get, similar to how they have in Disney World, and then hotel guests will have a set group of how many they can get, and then regular single day tickets will have a set number of tickets that they can get, a set number of reservations that they can get. And you know, maybe by April 30th, Orange County will already be in orange tier. Right now they're in red tier, which permits them to operate the theme parks at 15% capacity. If you're in orange tier, they can operate the theme parks at 25% capacity. You know, maybe they'll even be in yellow tier, but that's highly unlikely. But I definitely think that orange tier is a big possibility. So maybe that's why Disneyland's waiting until all the way until April 30th, because maybe they're looking at the numbers and they're like, wow, we can actually get to orange tier by that date, so we'll be able to open up at 25% capacity. I don't know, just something to think about. One last thing I wanted to touch up on, and that is the discounts for former annual pass holders, now known as legacy pass holders. Recently, Disneyland sent out an email saying that you're going to need this digital ticket that you can get on your app, as well as your photo identification and your normal like physical old annual pass holder card, and you're going to need to show that to wherever you're buying stuff where you get a discount in order to receive that discount. So it's a little bit much, but I get what they're doing. They're trying to do research and all that other stuff, and they're trying to, shy away from letting other people use discounts, which I think that if you're in the same family or in the same group, you should be allowed to still use your discount. It doesn't matter who's purchasing it, but that's just my thoughts. As far as how they're going to manage, only letting California residents into the 2 theme parks, I think it's simple. You're going to present your ticket at the turnstiles and you're going to show your ID. If it's a California ID, you're allowed in. If it's an ID from Arizona or Nevada, then you're not going to be allowed in, and that's unfortunate for all the out-of-state visitors for Disneyland. But for us locals, I think it's a good start at slowly getting used to being back at a theme park, especially here in California. But that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing down below with those bell notifications on, and let me know down in the comment section what you're most excited for when the 2 theme parks open up. Are you excited to ride Rise of the Resistance, or are you excited for the anticipation of Avengers Campus opening up at California Adventure? My name is Scott. You've been watching SoCal Exploring. Positivity is key, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.